Yo, what's going on? It's your boy King J, and I know a lot of people have been wondering where this video about sponsorships has been gone. Why have I not done it? Man, I've just had so much work things to do. But yeah, we're gonna get into this video. I'm really passionate about this video, and I've kind of put it into different sections. So first things first, the reason why I feel like you should listen to me is because I've been in the fighting game for quite a long while. I've worked with a lot of brands. I've worked with Audi, Blue Microphones, Logitech, Alienware. So many. There's so many. I can list so many, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to just talk about certain things that I feel like you watching the video should do. If you are making content, these are the things that you should do. First things first, if you are a fighting game player, what would I do as a fighting game player? If I was a fighting game player, I would be creating content. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at people like Punk, Kizzy K, Justin Wong, all of these people, they've created wicked, and I mean absolutely amazing YouTube channel where, now they're worth something. Being a fighting game player and then just waiting to be top three isn't always guaranteed. We know this. Sorry if you hear the fan in there. It's really hard. You can see I'm sweating a little bit, but yeah, I've been wanting to do this video and I'm not waiting any longer. So yeah, if you look at people like them, they have great healthy channels, and then that means they're marketable. That means they're able to accept projects from sponsorships and stuff like that. I don't know, HelloFresh and all of these other stuff, and get money, right? At the end of the day, once you get to a certain age, you have bills to pay and stuff, so you're going to need to make money from doing this if you want to make this into a full-time job, like how I do myself. Now, moving on from that, fighting game players, I know there's a lot of fighting game players that are like, oh yeah, all I'm going to do is just play a game, get top 3, top 5, top 8, and that's good enough. It's not. It really isn't. And the reason why I say that is because if you don't get top 8, then what are you doing? Like, there's already scraps in terms of prize pools and stuff like that. We don't get that much money in fighting games. You have to look outside of the box. I know there's pro players that get sponsored by teams and stuff like that, but we have to look at the reality. We've had fighting game teams come and go. We've had Echo Fox. Echo Fox had like some of the most top level players. Sonic Fox, Saint, JDCR, all those players, they come and go. Echo Fox has come and gone. You've had so many other teams as well that's come in the fighting game. We had Equinox. They were really good. They've come and gone. There's a few others. Fighting game teams don't last because they don't understand the community. That's just how it is. Like, they get players and, they're expecting the players to win and stuff like that, but that's just not it. Content creation is where it's at, and content creation is the future, right? Where it's all about marketing. When we talk about games and stuff, we're marketing a game. We're getting more eyes on the game. There's probably people that wouldn't play Tekken if they don't watch, the main man Sui or Eris or whoever else that is out there, or Street Fighter 6. People wouldn't play it unless Punk was making content, or Guilty Gear Strive if KZK wasn't making content. But all these guys are making content, and it makes people want to play the game. There's also people that want to advertise on these channels. There's people that want to, talk to them about other things, sponsorships and so on. You cannot get sponsorships from getting top 8. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. You can probably be amongst a fighting game team and stuff like that if you're consistently winning, but it would have to be like a game where it gets a high viewership. We're talking about Mortal Kombat, we're talking about Tekken, we're talking about Street Fighter. If you're winning in games like Soul Calibur, BlazBlue and stuff, the chances of you getting like a big sponsor is not that great. And there's probably those people that have a good sponsor, but it's very rare. So now we're going to move on to the part where I talk about content creation and what you should be doing for content creation in order to get sponsorships. With content creation, you should be talking about stuff like tier lists. You should be talking about stuff like, doing ranked matches and playing with, other pro players, but then also breaking down casual things for people that want to get involved in the game. So, I done guides before, then I've started doing collabs with pro players to them do guides and stuff like that. And then I've got some other stuff like, I've got like a montage of all of my funny clips from Twitch. All of these content is easy. It doesn't require that much. Then you can then look at some other stuff, some other transformative content from your YouTube or your Twitch, wherever you're streaming stuff. Then look at other avenues. Yes, you should have a Twitter. Yes, you should have a YouTube channel. Yes, you should have a Twitch. You know, you should be looking at all avenues. Instagram, I don't really see the worth in it, but I have an Instagram just because having all of the social medias that are relevant is good for when you then have a pitch to then go to speak to a sponsor, which I will talk about later on. I think Instagram is good overall, but it's not required. I think TikTok is good overall, but not required. TikTok doesn't give you a lot of money, but TikTok is very good for discoverability. So discoverability meaning that if someone is watching you on TikTok, they're then gonna more than likely look at your other content. They're gonna look at, oh, where is he? Is he on YouTube? Let me check out his YouTube. Boom, then they find you and then they follow you on all the other socials. So that's what I mean by discoverability. Instagram, I think, is the worst by far when it comes to discoverability. So I wouldn't focus too much on it, but you can, if you're going to tournaments and stuff like that, you can then say, all right, you know, I went to this tournament, and take some pictures, probably post some reels, because they was pushing reels before, but I don't think they're pushing reels that much now. So then now, on top of that, other content I would say is do stuff that's personal to you. Like, people want to know you. You're basically a brand. And I feel like when people go to these tournaments and then they start winning and stuff, I feel like people forget that you are essentially a brand. People are coming, people are either coming to meet you, or people are on that Twitch stream. They want to see if you're going to win or not. They want to see how good you are. You are a brand. So you need to act like a brand. You need to start pushing yourself out there, maybe, like, you know, talking about certain things, maybe even do things like on your Twitter, talking about stuff you eat or nice food and stuff. I'm not saying talk about it in like some like long thing. You could be like, oh, yo, I'm eating my favorite food. Like, this stuff generates interest in you from your fans and your supporters and stuff like that. So that's that one. So that's what type of content you should do. I've gone over what it is to be like if you're a pro player and stuff like that. The next step is forwarding your pitch to these companies. Now, it's quite interesting because a lot of people don't seem to understand what this means when it means to like forward your pitch to these companies. So like, you need to be able to have some type of confidence. My thing is I'm extremely confident in what I do, and you know, when I talk to these brands and approach brands, which is why many people see me working with different brands and they're like, how does that work? Like, how is he working with Audi when he's doing fighting games? Or how is he working with like X, Y, and Z? I don't know, but you get the gist. I've done quite a lot of things. So it's all about confidence, number one. And it's all about knowing how to email. And number three is also about having a media deck. Now, with media decks, to be honest, I need to update my one, but with media decks, it should have all your social media and stuff like that. And, you know, stuff you've done, big stuff you've done, and have a case study. Talk about like some of the sponsorships you've done. You know, if you worked with an esports team before, mention that. If you've done like something with HelloFresh and you know you was told to sell some stuff on your stream, talk about that. You need to mention it. Like, my stuff is, I've worked with Twitch and I was on billboards with Twitch. I was on billboards with YouTube. I was a part of the first class of YouTube Black Voice, which supports black content creators with a 1 million fund. I was a part of that. And then there's those other things I've done. I've worked at Insomnia 62 with Alienware on their stand, doing a Beat the Pro format event, and that was for Tekken 7. You add these things and do case studies so that people know, and they'd be like, oh, okay, so he's done these things with these notable brands. Okay, we want to work with him. And then you just keep adding. You keep adding. What I see a lot of pro players do when they want to get sponsorships is they tweet about it. They say, oh, hey, man, like, oh, I want to be sponsored. That's not going to work. Like, yes, you can get all your friends and stuff and your gaming friends to be like, hey, look, I want to tweet this out. Can you support me? Can you retweet? Yeah. To be honest, I personally don't think you can do it. And yes, you're going to get retweets and you're going to get engagement for that one post. But I also feel like reaching out to, brands and stuff also helps as well. You just don't know who's there or who could be watching or who you can get hold of, right? You could do both. But me personally, if I was a fighting game pro player and I was looking to be sponsored, a part of a team, I wouldn't really be tweeting like my media deck. Media decks are kind of meant to be more, I would say they're meant to be more close to who you're working with, which is why I've been able to generate and get so much sponsorships and do a lot of like one-off deals and stuff like that with these companies, because I usually do one-to-one. We talk, have a Discord meeting, and we talk like that. Also, emails as well. Make sure, hello with the person's first name. I know this sounds bare crazy, but you would be surprised how people email. I've had people ask me for advice and stuff like that, which is why one of the main reasons I'm doing this video is to kind of like just say to everyone, so you could just watch this video and kind of dissect what you need. Hello with the person's first name. Say who you are, what you do. Say your numbers, maybe your strongest numbers. Like, so YouTube, my YouTube is 67,000 subscribers. Twitch is 62,000 60,000 followers. Oh, and you know, Twitter, I'm on 18,000. So I would say those things. These are my numbers. I want to work with your brand because. Say why you want to work with their brand, and then you say, you can either do it. It depends on how your confidence level is. You can either say, when would you like to schedule a meeting to talk for like 20 minutes? Or you can say, oh, look forward to hearing from you. I feel like saying look forward to hearing from you is cool, but you know, saying something like, oh yeah, like, you know, when can I get a call, that like a 10-20 minute call, if possible, is good, because it kind of shows you're keen and you're interested. Whereas look forward to hearing from you, it sounds like, okay, yeah, I've got this, I've sent this to you, I want to get involved, but yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. I just feel like the first one is more keen, and that one has been a lot more successful for me, rather than look forward to hearing from you. And then obviously kind regards, and then your name. Also, if your emails, make sure you have a signature as well. So like it could be like an image or a bar or something like that. So like my one is basically a bar just showing my latest video, but it's not showing, it's just like an image bar. So you click on the image bar and it takes you to my latest video. So you could do stuff like that. Lastly as well, seeing as we're getting on to this point as well, with emails, always send, if you are a person that's not great with emails, like myself, I'm not the best when it comes to like emailing in bulk, but I am the best with getting results from emails. If you're one of those people that don't like to email in the day and you've got loads of stuff going on, then in the nighttime you feel like you've got a lot of energy. I'm always got energy in the nighttime. The best thing to do is to put to do emails and schedule them for the next day, but do not schedule them for 8 o'clock. PR companies know about this. This is a technique that I've taken from someone from the PR. I'm not going to say no names, and they work for a very high company. You schedule the email for 8:02 or 8:05 or 8:07. Never schedule it for 8 o'clock. Trust me on this one. You're going to be like, why? Just trust me. A lot of these companies get spam emails. They get loads of emails from people, and they're looking out for things like, oh, is it scheduled at 8 o'clock? Because when Gmail and all these other email server things, all of these companies, they all have this thing where you could either set it to 8 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and they just know, right? If it's too clean, it's like, yeah, set it to 8:02, 8:05, 8:07, or 9:05, 9:00, just one of those times, so it doesn't look like it's been scheduled. These are all the tips on how to get sponsored. Again, like I said, if you're a fighting game pro player, please just don't concentrate on just tournaments. Please concentrate on making content for all the other social medias and getting yourself out there. You are a brand at the end of the day. And if you want to get paid, and it's not from, I don't know, like a tournament getting 10, 20 pounds or 20 USD or wherever you're from, and you want to generate a lot of revenue, it is about doing multiple things. It is about streaming. It is about making YouTube content. It's also about competing and also training as well. Maybe show people how you train for tournaments. Some people wouldn't want to do that because they'll be like, oh, but you're basically showing the way how you play and stuff like that. Just maybe basic things like, oh yeah, so before I go to a tournament, I do like a 4-hour session. Maybe show you doing a 4-hour session. You don't have to say your exact training scheme or whatever, right? But yeah, that's the best way how to get sponsorships. Is literally, for me personally, is to go out there, make sure you're doing content consistently. Don't be saying you're doing a stream once a week. That's not gonna cut it. There's way too many content creators out here nowadays, and it's just not gonna cut it if you're streaming once a week. Everyone is grinding, everyone is grafting, but it's also about working smart as well. Like, maybe free streams a week, maybe 2 content or 3 content a week. Something that is, edited down properly. And yeah, don't concentrate on just being a sponsor player. in fighting games. Even if you don't play fighting games as well, this can apply to you as well. Even if you don't play fighting games, you're playing something different and you're sponsored, this will also apply to you. And also make sure you have a media deck as well. I will be doing a video talking about media deck and what it should include in the next video. So remember to subscribe and stuff like that. Other than that, it's been your boy King J signing out. If there's any questions that you need, I'll do a sponsorship video part 3. This is part 2. Any questions or anything like that that's not been answered from what you wanted from the previous videos, please let me know. And I'll do it in the next video. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. And again, the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to see the FGC grow. I'm tired of people complaining about prize pots. I'm tired of people, like, you know, not doing everything they should to try and get more from, you know, doing the games that they love. And again, fighting games are really hard. And I think the return, people think the return is not that great, but I feel like there's a bunch of things that people could be doing, like putting a link tree in your bios for everything, especially like Twitter, especially like putting things in your bio to make sure that people can find you. You know, there's no point having your name being Joe Blogs, but then your next name is, I don't know, your next name's Alan222. How are they going to find you if your name's meant to be Joe Blogs? Do you know what I mean? It's just certain little things like that. But other than that, I hope I'm not rambling on. Remember to like this video, comment and share, because I think people would want to know. I'm not editing this video. This is just going to be raw. It's me talking to you one-to-one. Yeah, other than that, take it easy, everyone. Peace.